I'm gonna steal your sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Oh, we are live here at Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up on the lovely houseboat. Tommy Lee Jones for episode 12 of season 3. Now, if you have a keen ear, in the background, you will hear Zach still mixing the song for this week. He does this from time to time.
Yes.
He had a lot of time tonight. It's the epic coming to an end. I understand it. I am not blaming him. But this is the earliest that we pretty much, for the epic at least, and for almost every other song, maybe, bar one.
Yes.
This is the earliest that we were ever done with vocals. It was about 8:15, 8:20 vocals were done, and he's sitting there going, do you want to do anything else? And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And we did a little bit more, and then we were done. But he is up there putting together the final pieces of the epic, and I gotta tell you, it's one of those bittersweet feelings, and we'll again, as always, go into it much more in detail later on.
And it's not the final concept album.
No, but it's one of those things.
But now we can move on with the actual stuff.
Exactly, with the world we've created and all of that.
Yes.
But it's one of those feelings when you do something, you put energy into something creatively, and it comes to an end as it's supposed to.
Right.
It worked. We did it. However many people heard it. How many people will hear it, and that's fucking whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But we set out to do this, and we didn't stop. We didn't decide to do something different. We are done. Part 6 is unless Zach upstairs right now decides to walk out or just go to bed and never send it to us.
Yeah, but I mean, I could just go up there and fucking get it then.
Unless Zach upstairs destroys his computer and then decides to do whatever after that, doesn't matter. Yeah. We're going to be hearing part 6 a little bit later on, and we're going to talk a lot about kind of the world of Captalan that we've created and everything along those lines. But before Zach gets down here, I do want to introduce, as always, Mr. Justin Olimpado that is here with me.
How's it going?
Oh, it is going pretty well. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching live, or if you are watching in the future, or if you're listening on iTunes and you're like, oh God, I should be watching. You should
be watching. You can interact with us.
You can definitely chit chat with us on here. Now, if you saw the intro video this week, is the same intro video from week 2.
Yes.
We had a couple ideas. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, and then the day just kind of got away from us. So I was like, let's do the first one. And since I've been on the diet and I've been, trying to lose weight, and even though I've got a vacation, I'm going to gain half the weight back on in about a week and a half.
You'll still be fine.
Cheeseburgers and donuts. It's going to happen. And lots of beer. But
you are going to a beer fest, so
literally day one.
Yeah.
Day one is beer fest.
Hour 4. Here's the actual thing. All right. So you've been on this diet, right? Mm-hmm. And you've obviously lost weight. There's no way that you could be drinking or eating as much as you used to.
The stomach has shrunk, the appetite.
So when you
get the urge. Oh, I'm going to be kind of like, all right, cool. This is a sip. I'm going to really be taking tastes of beer. I'm going to want to try all of them. I'll get very drunk. But I am going to want to try all of them.
Full.
But then when we come back after, we're taking our 2-week break after this episode, and we will be back 2 weeks from tonight. Yeah. And actually 3 weeks from tonight. There's a 2 weeks off, so it's 3 weeks from tonight that we will return. We're going to, why we decided to roll the week 2 intro is we're going to redo week 2 with me wearing the same clothes and doing the same thing as much as we can remember.
Be fall, color
and it'll
changes.
be a different change, and we're going to just be able to compare side by side later on.
We're not doing this with everything.
Not with everything.
Just that one.
Just that one. And then I think when it comes to wintertime, we'll do another one doing the exact same thing in the middle of the snow, with January, same outfit. And then again, we'll just keep doing week 2 or week 12 every week, whatever we want to do. All right, we can do that, or the last and the however we want to figure it out. But then it'll be a good thing for me because I did do a before and after picture or before picture. I haven't gotten to the after yet, so there's no way I'm taking that picture yet. But I did do. Somebody informed me that one of the best things you can do for your motivation is take a before picture. It sucks doing it. You don't want to look at it, and you're going to want to delete it. But in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, however long down the line, you're going to be able to look back and have something to measure yourself by. Mm-hmm. So I did that and throw that picture up. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that at all.
Should I hit the button?
The cancel everything button? Do we have a kill switch?
Yeah, it just burns this house down.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Now I don't know. Speaking about burning houses down.
Oh, no. Whose house?
No. It actually doesn't. I think the movie in itself
burning down the house.
Bringing
down the house.
The Joker. Have you seen anything?
Oh my God, dude!
It sounds amazing. Dude.
I watched the new trailer that they put out. I watched that. It's pretty much what they've already kind of released, but just cut up a little differently. And I watched a lot of after their premiere in Venice, which I'm always baffled what movies get to premiere in what places, and the Joker got to premiere, or just Joker, it's just called Joker, gets to premiere in Venice. I thought that was really funny, but everybody's raving about it.
Sure.
It's getting a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, a 30 out of 30, or whatever people do on other channels.
Yeah, I mean, from what I was reading, it's or the one review that I sort of read, I didn't want to really get into it because I don't want anything spoiled.
Yeah, I don't want to get anything spoiled.
Basically, they were like, if you didn't realize that this had to do something within a DC universe, it would just be a story.
Yeah,
you'll run into people that have the last name Wayne.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
And
the Joker is in Gotham. There, and it's in Gotham.
Yeah,
but it's not your traditional.
And it's a standalone. They've sworn up and down that they are not going to do another one of these. It is Joaquin Phoenix went into insane mode. He went in Christian Bale mode on this, or Joaquin Phoenix mode, really.
Yeah, really,
and
he does go crazy.
He dove into it. When you watch Walk the Line, he is fucking Johnny Cash.
Yes.
And I could not even fucking imagine somebody else doing that role. But then when you say, the guy that's playing Johnny Cash and Walk the Line is going to be playing the Joker, you just go, that's weird. But then you see that fucking image and him without a shirt on where he kind of has that machinist feel to it.
What was, did you watch his movie where he fell in love with
Her?
Her, yeah. Did you watch that?
I did not watch that.
See, I watched most of it. I fell asleep. But, Zach says he's coming, boys.
He's on his way.
Her, you can see it in that role. He was very super depressed on it.
So many solos, so little time. Nice.
But yeah, you could tell he was like he was within that role. He was within, like, he didn't, method actor. Like, I just remember reading or like hearing or watching, like, during Saving Private Ryan and stuff, some of those dudes, like the dude that played the medic, he's a method actor, and they're like, yeah, nobody wanted to be around him. He smelled like shit. He didn't shower.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Was diving.
Yeah, it's like a very bold choice for you to make about yourself, for your character that affects everybody around you.
Right. Yep.
Like, there are plenty of people that worked on, like Man on the Moon, and they're like, "Oh, you got to work with Jim Carrey." It's like, yeah, did I? Like,
no, I got to work with.
I got to work with Jim Carrey's Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I got to do.
Or fucking what's his name? When he dressed up as what was Andy Kaufman's other?
Oh, Tony Clifton. Yeah, which was way worse. Yeah, if you're gonna be if you're gonna hang out with one of the two of them,
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman for sure. Tony Clifton is a fucking asshole.
Yep.
Although if he wasn't aiming it at me, which I know he would be because he aims it at everybody but himself.
Sure.
It would be amazing to be in the room.
I think if you just went along
him.
with him, like if you knew it, you're like, yeah, just egg him on.
Keep going. Look at this motherfucker over here.
I'm on your side.
Look at what this guy's wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Oh my god! But yeah, I think Joker as a whole is going to do what Joaquin Phoenix is going to do with Heath Ledger did with the role. He's going to make it his own. It's going to be. Don't even bother comparing it.
Well, now the problem is all right. So. Obviously, I haven't seen the movie. It's not even out yet, right? It comes out in October.
Unless you're in Venice. Yeah, it comes out in October. It comes out, I think, September in the UK, but like towards the end of September, then we get it like a week or so later.
Okay, which is strange, but okay, cool.
Yeah, usually they get things a little either before or after us. They never premiere at the same time for either country.
But like if somebody came up to you and said, okay, we want you to play Joker.
Yeah.
This is what it is. And then you're like... Oh, well, fuck. Joaquin Phoenix just did this crazy thing. So
Jared Leto did it and did it crazy, and not a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, but, I mean, you could probably reprise that role.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
You could just go, I'm going to take what he did and make it. But then again,
we didn't really get to see the character fleshed out.
Like 12 minutes on screen? Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what the Suicide Squad is going with, if he's even going to be in it.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll give him another shot with it, man.
Or they just avoid the character altogether, which I think for them would be a smart decision. But yeah, with Joaquin Phoenix doing it with Heath Ledger's performance.
And then you have Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah. I think the thing that's going to wind up happening, and I have a feeling early on about this, and it's not really an Oscar bait movie, but I really think Joaquin Phoenix is going to be nominated for Best Actor.
Probably.
For this performance. And he's going to wind up...
wild, dude.
Oh, it looks insane.
Is it...
Like, De Niro's in it. It's a total Scorsese-style film.
I can't tell if there's going to be, like, him going around killing people or murdering or...
I think it's him, like, inciting riots and stuff. There's the one scene where everyone's all cheering and other people are wearing masks, and he's like, ha, ha,
and he has a mask on and stuff like that. But yeah, so he's just he's an instigator.
He's an agent of chaos, which is what the Heath Ledger role really, really brought out.
True.
But they're mixing that. I mean, they're not even taking anything from Heath Ledger. What they've said is they went back to the source material, and Bob Kane and the other guys who created the character of the Joker, they took it from this silent film that was like 1928, I believe, that was called The Man Who Laughs. And The Man Who Laughs is... If you look at the picture, if you were to look it up, and if you're listening, check it out, it is exactly what you think of when you think of a cartoon version of the Joker. It's a guy with a white face, big smile. The makeup's very, very accentuated. And he is kind of a cross between the Cesar Romero and the Jack Nicholson versions. So they based the image of the Joker and the character off of that character.
Right.
And when Joaquin Phoenix took on the role, Todd Phillips, the writer-director who did Old School and Road Trip and like a bunch of random movies, and the Hangover movies, he is going to be... or he said that he initially was like, that's the character that we kind of thought of. So Joaquin pulls from that a little bit. And then he did everything short of living in an insane asylum.
True.
Which, I mean, Brad Pitt did it for Seven. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he apparently went to places. He didn't live there, but he went to places and observed the people that have like uncontrollable laughter. So his laugh, he has like 3 or 4 laughs in the movie that he uses.
Makes sense. Though.
And they're all like, they're painful and they hurt him to laugh. And like he's even certain shots.
I
Like
mean,
there's the one
total-
shot where he's
total-
turning the corner, he's walking and he's
walking,
laughing,
yeah.
and it looks
He's
like
he's curled up a little bit.
and he's trying to laugh, but it's like it just they're
like
giving
that weird tick, that Tourette's tick type of thing.
And to not put it too crudely, but they're giving him a very mental look. Like to put it in the way that we would have said it in the 90s, that guy is fucking mental.
Oh, yeah.
Like he is a basket case. He is all over the place.
I mean, I'm still all for writing I mean, there's a lot of DC characters that are. You know, I know DC has been trying to follow Marvel in the sense of like. You know,
create their extended universe, do all that.
But when you look at Marvel comics, they are brutal at times. And most DC, I mean, I haven't really gotten into Batman stuff. Like, I haven't read a lot of Batman. I've watched more Batman than I've read. So, I mean, minus Killing Joke, which is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't know what the gore levels and stuff are, but I would love to see a Riddler-style movie.
Yeah, just
like
a solo
Eli Roth type of fucking...
Well, this is going to open the door for that, and the thing that is going to be best for DC as a whole is going to be...
Well, DC is winning the Halloween game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Harley Quinn last year from Suicide Squad, and they're going to have
Joker
look
at the costumes that you have to get if you want to be a Marvel person. You have to get a full fucking costume. You can't really half-ass Thor or half-ass Iron Man.
Right.
Like, you could be Tony Stark. You could be...
You could be.
You could be Peter. You're not going to be Spider-Man without buying a fucking full suit and a mask. It's more dedication.
But I'm just saying, as far as like the movies coming out and whatnot, it's coming out right before Halloween. People are obviously, it's going to be fresh in their mind. What are you?
Everybody's going to be rating every single, red and yellow vest and jacket from every Salvation Army and Goodwill in the country.
And then you'll have
clown
the different
makeup is going to
variations
spike. You want a heads up on a good tip for the next 6 months? Invest in clown makeup.
Yeah.
Invest in companies that make clown makeup. That shit is going to go out the fucking wazoo. Buy red noses, sell them in about 6 weeks. They're going to be
buy all of the stock and sell
all of
them,
them, and they're going to make you some decent money. I promise you that.
Keith says Phoenix gets the Oscar. Ledger got Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, exactly. He would get Best Actor, and Ledger got Best Supporting, but that's because he wasn't. I mean, it makes sense. He was a supporting actor. Christian Bale. And
oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Did Christian Bale get? Did he get?
He didn't get anything. No. The only thing, I think the Dark Knight got nominated maybe for Best Picture, and that was the year that they opened it up to 10.
Okay.
And Heath Ledger got nominated and won posthumously. About like a little over a year after he died, he got the Oscar.
Okay.
But I mean, hey, that was a pretty good ramble on there.
Yeah.
While we waited for Mr. Zachary Storman. So as we were saying before Zach came down, Zach just finished wrapping up the epic.
Hopefully it's wrapped up.
Hopefully. If not, there you go. You got an unwrapped gift. Yeah. And you said that there were so many solos, so little time.
Well, it was 9:57, and I'm still recording
solos.
Not even the last solo.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just like, oh, fuck, dear. So the very last solo might be questionable.
All right.
But I did practice it earlier.
All right. Well, either way, it's going to be
10-12 we hit.
10-12.
The whole album is 43 minutes long.
Oh, fuck. 6 songs, 43 minutes.
Hey.
Oh my god.
That's classic rock. That's the way
that's
it
a
is,
good time.
I fucking love that. That's awesome. And it's a concept album that we started and we finished it. We finished it, and we are going to get into that a little bit later. But before we get into that, let's get into what we're consuming right now.
What's up?
Clear. I mean, it's not wrong.
Blood.
We're drinking blood, everybody.
The mango doesn't smell bad.
The mango doesn't smell bad? Does it taste bad?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
All right. So, as everybody knows, I've been on a diet the last month. I am officially down like 19.5 pounds in 3 weeks. And a lot of that is due to not drinking beer. So I have been drinking all of the hard seltzer and I had a spiked still water the other day where it was.
I don't know if I could handle that.
It
My
was
dad
just
told
water.
me not to drink still lake water because that's how you get a disease.
That is. The mosquitoes growing there. But they had this still water thing. It's called like Pura Still, and it like blueberry and mango flavors. Just tastes like somebody dropped a little bit of like a Mio into some water. So I was just adding Mio to it because
It was alcoholic or no?
it was alcoholic. It's 5%.
You were adding Mio to that.
I was adding Mio to it, so it just tasted like fucking water.
Yeah.
And it was 5% alcohol, and I killed a 12-pack, and I'm like, how was I able to do that? Like a 12-pack of 12-ounce bottles like that.
Were you hammered?
I was really drunk, but it took me like an hour to drink all of them. I was like, I'm drinking it like it's water.
Life is getting dangerous, boys.
Very dangerous. So this week, to try a different flavor of danger, we have truly a hard seltzer.
I mean, the mango's not bad.
I've had all the flavors so far. The passion fruit was pretty damn good, really good flavor on it. But I'll say
I like it.
The pomegranate is the one that has like kind of the flavor. It's got a good scent.
Yeah.
It's got a good initial taste, but it just becomes seltzer right
I guess
after.
if you don't really want to taste much of anything,
Yeah.
sure.
Or if you're adding something like a Mio or more vodka to it.
Vodka. Dude,
Yeah.
I must have had
Oh, jeez.
8 fucking claws and vodka on Saturday before
Yeah.
I switched to just water and vodka.
Yeah.
Claws and vodka.
Claws and vodka. So
Oh
you're
man, they
taking
just kept making them and making them.
Bear
you're
claws
taking
and vodka.
fucking bear claws and vodka.
Yeah.
Jesus, I had 8 bear claws with shots of vodka.
Yeah, I'm on a diet. I
I'm
had
on a
8 bear
diet.
claws.
I want to be on that diet. Jesus fucking Christ.
This pineapple though.
That's why I'm drinking the
Needs
pineapple
liquor.
as well. It
It
does
needs
need liquor.
liquor.
I
God, that'd be
haven't
great.
tasted on this diet. I haven't been eating fruit, so this is my avenue to getting fruit flavor. And I haven't tasted anything pineapple yet. The one
you
thing
can't
I
eat
will say,
fruit?
yeah, not on
That
this diet.
seems wrong,
Well, it's
doesn't
because
it?
it's got sugars in it. So yeah, when I come back from vacation,
Fruit
I'm
is
going
not
on a
bad for you,
normal
though.
diet where I just eat normal. Where basically I'm not going on a diet where I just eat like a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in that. So then I'll be reintroducing like fruit and all that fun
Sure.
stuff because I'm craving apples and I'm definitely craving pineapple. So this is quenching my thirst and my hunger for pineapple.
When I
asshole.
vaped,
For
I got
pineapples.
pear flavor because I just wanted
Yeah.
to eat pears at the time, and that fucking curbed my appetite on it.
Yep. It works, and honestly, like everything fruity, I've been fucking, I really just want like an apple. Like I would just love an apple right now. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And next week, I'm gonna get myself an apple.
Is there anything
and
else
then
that you
China
don't-
Buffet, and then Domino's, and then Taco Bell, and then Wendy's, and then the Morgue.
Yeah.
I think
And then
that's
you'll put 20 pounds back on.
20 pounds right back on.
Right.
But I'll know I can get rid of it whenever I want to lose a month of my life to meat. And it really wasn't losing. I mean, I ate so many T-bone steaks in the last 3 weeks. I'm not complaining, really.
True.
It's fucking phenomenal. It's awesome.
Now, is there anything that you really miss right now?
I mean, realistically, I have been craving apple juice, applesauce, apples. Like that is what I've been really wanting. And I miss a peanut butter and jelly. Like, if I could just have, like, it's the simple things. I want school lunch right now. I want an apple and a peanut butter and jelly and a thing of chocolate milk. Like, if I could have that,
Yeah.
like, that would be fucking perfect. And macaroni and cheese, especially since it's getting colder. I'm wanting more, like, good hot foods that have, bread
Actual
and
beef stew.
pasta. Real beef stroganoff would be great. And I tried a little bit last week. I got a little bit of a stomach ache. I talked about it on the show last episode. And then last Wednesday, I did fuck up. I was drunk, and I was at Warrior, and about 8 people were eating chicken cheesesteaks and cheesesteaks around me. And I was like, fuck it. So I was like, Kenny, get me a cheesesteak, a chicken cheesesteak. So I ate half of it just with a fork out of the bun and just ate all the meat. And just like, all right, maybe just the presence of it and smelling it, that'll get it. And then I was like, fuck it. And I ate the other half. And I didn't shit really well for like 2 days. My stomach felt like garbage.
Yeah.
And I was like tired. I was like, oh my God. Like,
Because your body's processing all that shit, man.
it is not used to it now. So now I know next week when we end the diet on Monday and we have our 4 full days
gotta
leading up to
ease
the
into that,
vacation,
dude.
I'm going to very much so ease into it because, again, day 1, hour 4 of our vacation is going to be a beer fest followed by a seafood fest. So it's everything's going to be so out the window so quickly.
You wouldn't have made it on Will's party through the food then.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's so many snacks and stuff
Dude,
that I knew were
Jess
going to be there.
cooked- We had walking tacos. I don't know if you ever had that before.
I have.
No.
So
Like in a Doritos bag?
In a Dorito. She got all the little Doritos bags.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I went to a food coma.
Yeah.
I wasn't even slammered. Just slightly inebriated and ate so much food.
You just, I would
That
have
about
died.
11 o'clock, I just went in. I'm like, I'm going to sit on the couch for a minute. Next thing I wake up and there's kids and toys everywhere and it's morning and it's cartoon time.
Well,
and I'm like,
a Will and Jess
happened?
party will do that. She makes
Did the mac and cheese and then she made
so many good items.
pulled chicken, like pulled barbecue chicken. I must have had like
Let's say even that, like the
8
barbecue sauce
sliders,
I'm not
2
having.
walking tacos,
Oh, Jesus.
bacon cupcakes.
Jesus
she
Christ.
went
Crazy.
all out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
I
God.
mean, me and Will did a lot of cooking too, but it's all
Like there's
from
certain things
the
I would be
mind
able to
of Jess.
pick
I just do what
around.
she tells
I would
me
have
to
been
do.
be able to pick around everything and eat certain things, but it wouldn't have done it justice, and I would have been very upset. But either way, unfortunately, I had to
Oh
work.
my god! I ate myself to pain.
And speaking of work, last night was a pretty slow night. The last 2 hours, so that is where I wrote a couple of jokes for you guys. Which brings us to our next segment. Never anecdotes.
Fuck anecdotes.
All right, here we go with our jokes of the week. Zach's favorite part.
Play them on me, Mr. Bassman.
All right, Catholic schools across the country have officially banned Harry Potter books from classrooms, as they say reading the spells could potentially conjure evil
You're a
spirits.
wizard, Harry.
So reading spells written 20 years ago by some British lady could conjure the devil, but reading prayers from a book from 2,000 years ago written by God can't stop those priests.
That's good. I heard another
They can't.
variation on that joke.
Oh, did
today
you?
already? Yeah, but it wasn't priests.
That wasn't priests?
Yeah, it was mass shootings.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I wasn't going there yet.
Remember, we went through this.
Yeah.
Well, I did. So, I'm the same age as Harry Potter,
Yes.
basically, when Harry Potter came to America. So that's when I was like learning how to read. I think I've talked about this.
What book
before.
did Harry Potter come to America in?
Well, he never came to America.
Oh, okay.
But when the books
No,
got
that was,
popular in
Eddie Murphy,
America
dude.
at the Scholastics
Right.
Book Fair,
Oh,
was
yeah.
right when
I
I was
remember
reading
those.
on my own.
Yeah.
So like I grew up with them. And
Did you
I
get it from Riff, Reading is Fun? Or
No, I
the
got it from
Bookmobile?
Scholastic Book Fair.
Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh, the book.
Those are good.
But
Those are
you know,
good.
there was the whole thing back then when they first came out that they
Yeah,
were evil.
they did. Yeah, oh, this is
And
the
they
work of the
banned them.
devil.
And then they were like, no, actually everyone loves Harry Potter. Like, just get over it. It's
Yeah.
like it was like
Yeah.
one of the most giant movie
This
franchises
is more
when it was
popular
coming
than
out.
God right now. We got to get on its
Like,
side.
why are we doing this? Like,
I don't know.
again?
I don't know. 19 years after the fact, and it's an
We're just
issue
doing
all
it
over
again.
time. Yeah, it doesn't make any
Probably
sense.
because you can go get wands and do magical shit.
Yes, definitely. And they have full books of incantations and everything. And oh no, better
That
watch
breeds
out.
witches.
That British lady
Warlocks.
from 20
Right.
years ago definitely knew witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's why.
While she was living in the
Well, that's
streets.
how she got so successful. You know, she learned witchcraft and.
She's
wrote
like
these
the
books.
Robert Johnson of fantasy children's novels.
All right, here we go. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, the magazine Harper's Bazaar, Kristen Stewart told a reporter that she has been advised to stop holding hands with her girlfriends in public, as it may help her image, and then eventually she could potentially land a Marvel movie. You know, if she stops being gay in public.
Wait, is she gay?
She's whatever. She doesn't like labels. She dates girls. She dates guys. She does whatever she wants. But you know, that's right. Disney doesn't like the gays. That's why they've never made a musical cartoon about fairies or princesses.
Yeah.
I think they do that literally every year. Fairies,
dude.
princess, musicals, they do it.
Yeah, but
don't
it's,
think
they're
so.
not. None of the characters are gay.
Yeah, they are. Prince Charming. You're not a straight dude with a name like Charming. Maybe if it was Charmin, but not Charming. If you were named after toilet paper,
Prince Chartleman.
Prince Chartleman. Prince shit my
I
pants.
startled myself.
All right, and finally, a triplet from Georgia, one of three, a triplet from Georgia, is being charged with fatally stabbing one of his brothers, but the man's story claims he accidentally stabbed him while going in for a hug as he was cooking in the kitchen.
Sorry,
That's
bro.
what he's claiming in court. Oh, I love you! I love you so much! Ah, no, I got my shoulder a little bit. Don't feel so bad. I got myself. Either way, the third brother told officials that he did not witness the stabbing, but did say he was really glad he showed up late for that dinner party. So now imagine being a set of triplets, and your brother, one of your brothers, killed your other brother. Wouldn't you spend the rest of your life going, did he think it was me? Did he think it was... I'm pretty sure
was I supposed to die?
Did he think it was him? Is he just deranged?
Or did they switch?
What
about if you're identical twins, right?
Yep, we were talking about this earlier. Yeah.
Has there ever been a murder of identical twins?
One identical twin murdering the other?
Does anybody know that?
And if so, could you, if you were found out to be, exactly who you are, and it wasn't like a switcheroo, could you be like, listen, I lived with that man. We were inside each other's brains. I knew he was going to kill me, so I killed him. Like, worst case scenario, you get mental illness charges.
Yeah, but if it's triplets, then one can kill one and blame it on the other one.
Sure.
That would, oh my God. Yeah, just like, we have you on footage, Joe. Dude, like, Joe, they got you. That's obviously you. He's wearing a red shirt. I wear a green shirt. Yeah. Bob wore a blue shirt. So, I mean, it's obviously you. We never changed. I mean, I don't own any of those shirts. Yeah. It's all fucking you. Yeah, they definitely... It'd be like the Ninja Turtles just switching masks. Yeah. Like, they just switched masks and belts.
Has that ever happened? Does anybody know that?
I don't know. In the lore of the Ninja Turtles, who knows? Who knows what has happened and what hasn't. All right. Well, hey, guys... Every week, I run a trivia night over at the beautiful Cinder in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And tomorrow, Wednesday, is the day that we do that. And we are going to be doing a not different. I'm kind of like gradually getting to how I want to do it. From now on, I think where I'm going to be is we're going to do one category that's a random category. We're going to do the no shit bullshit category, and then we're going to do the mixed nuts, because that just gives less of an advantage to anybody. It's all pretty random. Okay. The no shit bullshit will still be themed, like we did a sports, we did all those other things, and so we're gonna keep going with that.
The other things.
Sports and the other things. The sports. So this week, again, tomorrow, I'll be running trivia. So I like to bring 3 questions from each of the categories for tomorrow, ask them to the 2 of you, and ridicule at least one of you for getting them all wrong. So I think it's time...
That's definitely not me. Dude.
No, it's not. But I think it's time to ask you guys some questions.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
I'm a trivia guy. Now it's time for trivia time. Yeah.
All right, so as
I'm
was
in the
saying,
lead, right?
You're in the lead.
Okay,
You're in the lead.
cool.
So Zach's got 14. The guest has 8, and Justin has 7. So Justin, this is the last week before we start getting guests back on the show. So you got 3 questions to tie the guest. You've had 6 weeks.
I've been going by golf rules this whole time. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Justin's in the lead. Yes, Justin's winning. Right. But yeah, so our trivia night starts around 7:30, 8 o'clock. There's 3 categories. And these are 3 questions that you could come in tomorrow with the answers to if you're tuning in now. If you're tuning in the future, you're just going to learn some information.
You can still go to trivia time.
You can still go to trivia. Trivia time. I should just call it trivia time.
Trivia time.
And then use that every time I go to ask a question to get everybody's attention over trivia time. Trivia. I'm just like, fuck.
No, in the real way that you should do is play the beer song. Or something else. Oh, sorry. Hit the wrong
button. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, what are we drinking? We're drinking beer. Does make sense there as well.
True.
Because we got lots of beer. All right, so this week, I'm doing a no shit bullshit category for 2. I'm doing a random mixed nuts category for 3. The bullshit or the no shit bullshit is going to be on science. Okay. So there's going to be scientific
facts. Good, because I
facts.
just drew a spaceship.
Oh, you did, did it? Yeah.
I love science.
And the first category, and one we will be kicking off with, is going to be on cooking. Okay. So this is something that both of you have a little bit of experience in doing. But as always, I like to dive into some, that maybe you don't know. Maybe people that know cooking won't know. I've done a kitchen terms category in the past, so I'm going a little bit more in depth here. Okay. So question number 1, if you are both ready, from the cooking category. Pesto, or originally called pesto alla Genovese, or Genovese, whatever, is a sauce that originated in Genoa. Traditionally, the sauce is made of basil, Parmesan, olive oil, salt, and what type of nut? Right. Again, basil, Parmesan, olive oil, salt, and what type of nut? You both had answers down pretty quickly, so let's see what we got. Justin.
Pine nuts. Yeah.
And Zach.
Pine
nuts. All right, so we're 1-1, making Justin officially tied with the guests that haven't been here in 6 weeks.
I've done it.
Oh.
You also gave him a fucking lob on that one, but
I didn't know that's what it would be. I've never made pesto.
We've both been professional chefs.
Yeah. Either way.
That is that's
Although I've made plenty of pesto with walnuts that are great.
What are your multiple choice on those?
I haven't come up with them yet. I literally only wrote these. I'm doing all that tomorrow.
All right, cool.
Doing all that tomorrow. But you can give me options. You can help me out because I don't know.
Yeah, there needs to be some weird shit
like
in there.
peanuts, cashews, macadamia nuts, and
no, that'd be too easy. It needs to be something harder.
All right, I'm gonna have to look into other tree nuts then. Other tree nuts. All right, so number 2 from the no shit bullshit. Again, no shit means it's true, bullshit means it's false. This is a science category. Again, no shit, true, bullshit, false. I'm going to read a sentence, and it is either a true statement or a false statement. The atmosphere of our Earth is made up of mostly nitrogen. The atmosphere of our Earth is made up of mostly nitrogen. Again, no shit, true, bullshit, false. Feeling confident?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Did you write either no shit or bullshit?
Yes.
Okay, so you're at least you got a 50-50 chance. Zach, how confident do you feel about this?
Well, I'm confident. I'm just trying to remember what the exact percentage that it is.
Oh, okay. So he's going with an exact percentage. So let's give him a minute, and while we do that, Justin, what is your answer? Is it no shit? No shit? Alrighty. Now I will tell you, since Zach is now done writing. Wow. All right.
Did I get it? 73% nitrogen?
Says no shit, 73. It is 78%
Fuck
nitrogen.
me!
21% oxygen,
I knew it was
1% argon, and other chemicals. All right. So, hey, 2 for 2. This is the first time that's happened, I believe, that you guys have gone 2 for 2. So let's see if we can go 3 for 3. This is from the Mixed Nuts Random.
Is it pine nuts again?
It is not pine nuts. It is not. Although while I was at Weiss with Justin earlier, I was making a salad, and he comes over right as I'm pouring pine nuts on that, and he's like, "Oh, what do you got?" I was like, "Pine nuts," and I just stopped him. It's just gonna be in his head later now.
Well, dude, not only that, but it's the smartest way to go. Just fill up one of those fucking containers. Pine nuts are so expensive.
So expensive. You take one of those containers and fill up like one small one. That's like $40 of pine nuts that you're getting.
2 big containers. You have to walk up to them. Your shit's empty. You got more.
Yep. My dad used to do that with the bacon bits. He would go up with a container, fill up the entire container with bacon bits, check out at a frickin' $5 for like a pound and a half of fucking bacon bits, and then go home and we had bacon bits for forever. Yeah. Things you do when you're poor and you need to feed a small army.
Things you do when you're poor.
That could be a whole segment. Things you do when you're poor.
I'm talking about the bacon bits.
You entertain yourself by talking to 3 of your friends.
Yes.
And the 2 in the room. So 5 of your friends. All right. So the question number 3. Today, detective stories are everywhere, but it was only in the 1800s that they first came to popularity. The short story deemed the first modern detective story was Murders in the Rue Morgue, that was published in 1841 and written by what author?
Goddamn, I don't know.
Again, the short story deemed the first modern detective story was Murders in the Rue Morgue. It was published in 1841 and written by what author? It's an author everybody knows. It is a very famous author, and it might not help you out at all, but he is sometimes referred to as like the grandfather of the mystery because of this, the mystery novel. Justin, do you have an answer?
I do. This is
how
not
confident?
Right.
How confident?
Oh, dude.
All right, what do you got over there?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. And Zach, do you have an answer? You're still working.
It's wrong, but I'm gonna write it anyway. Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming.
That's not it.
It is not. Ian Fleming's from like the 50s, 60s. Yeah. And Sean Connery wrote the old James Bond. Now, for the first time ever, Justin, 3 for 3. Dude. It is Edgar Allan Poe.
How about that?
It is Edgar Allan Poe.
Man, it's the only thing
oh my God. I'm actually going to do the update of the score right now because I'm so proud. Who also got it right?
Miranda.
Miranda got it right. Hell yeah, to Miranda. So, look at this. Look at this. Justin.
Moving on up, dude.
You're at 10. Zach, I mean, you're still winning. You're still winning. You're at 16.
16, yeah.
So, oh my God. Justin's not in last place. Look at that. Now to remind everybody, there have been 36 questions asked.
Yeah.
I am a dickhead with my questions, but there have been 36 questions asked.
To be fair, you were going to give us multiple choices, and I denied that.
Yes.
I said it would be more fun.
It would be more fun, and especially because you said that you would just write nonsense bullshit, which I thoroughly enjoy. All right, so hey, we made a progressive week 12 here.
I will take it.
You will take it, and you don't have any choice on the matter. All right, so before we get into talking about our song for this week, again, we're concluding our epic. Yes. I want to bring up the Main Street Jukebox in downtown Stroudsburg. Yes. Go down there and get everything you need for all of your music, entertainment needs.
I would say go pick up the Tool album. But
if you could. If you could.
Can't.
Oh my God, they are going through a bunch of shit. Now, Tom went off on the whole thing, calling Tool tools. You know, I mean, an easy grab.
He is not a fan of.
Already not a fan of Maynard. Yeah.
Wait, he talked shit on them for the way
he was talking about how they fucked over like the record stores
all
because
kinds of people, because they had taken pre-orders for like 2 months,
and then now they got like 5 copies for the whole store.
5.
So it's like this. So that sucks.
Well, is that necessarily the band's fault, or is it?
It's the inner fighting between the two, the band and the record label.
They wrote a song about that.
Did they on this album?
No, it's called Schism.
Schism.
Yeah, true.
Well, either way, you can buy other albums by Tool,
or if it's
soon
Welcome
an album
to the
by
Future.
Tool from Main Street Jukebox.
It's on your phone.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it.
It's on your phone. Go to the Main Street Jukebox.
True.
To buy other things that could be on your phone.
Yeah.
Support local business, motherfucker.
Do it. Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Sorry,
No, I get you.
Well, I mean, you're
don't buy the Tool album. Go buy something else.
You're not like, you don't buy physical for the most part. Like you,
I've bought plenty of records.
You buy records, but I'm saying like
just
like
just
CDs
for collectors.
Yeah.
I mean, to sit down and listen to it and throw it on. Like we had the party outside the one, I think, for your birthday.
We had the record player outside.
People can come up and do different things. But I mean, like, I still buy physical copies.
And if you want to get rid of physical copies, they'll buy them right off you there. They will. Now, as we've kind of alluded to a little bit, we are, or a lot of it, we are ending our epic tonight.
Yeah.
This is the part 6 of Rubbish, the Garbage Man epic. And Zach, since this whole thing was kind of it was your brainchild. You came up with the story from start to finish. You came up with the whole story arc. And then Justin and I helped fill in pieces.
Yep.
And you sat there and at work drove around on the mower or did whatever you were doing at work, writing the songs in your head. In 6 weeks, we have not spent more than about 23 or 24 hours legitimately working on the music. 3 to 4 hours a week over 6 weeks. We're like, somewhere around 20 to 24 hours. I would say
4 hours.
4 hours?
4 hard hours.
All right.
Easily.
So you're right about 24 hours. We spent a full day working on this. And realistically, and besides the getting tired and falling asleep aspect, which I'm doing anyway all the time, we could have feasibly written this in a 24-hour period. And like straight, if we want to do it straight.
Sure.
So as the creator and the curator of all of this, you haven't listened to the final project all the way through.
No.
Or the final product.
No, I've listened to 5 through.
You listened to 5 through. I did as well this last week. I wasn't going to, but then I was too curious about how they all sounded, so I broke down. Justin, you have as well.
Yep.
How do you feel finishing this? What is your feeling after going, all right, that's it. I know you ran a little bit later and you wanted to wrap it up. Where are you sitting on Garbage Man Epic?
I just want to go back to it.
You want to
go back to Captalan.
Captalan.
I love it.
Maybe
I love
we
this.
will revisit it.
Oh,
we don't really know where it lands.
This world we built in the last 6 weeks. I'd like to eventually get all of the things I've written and drawn and the things I've texted you out into some sort of PDF.
Yeah.
Well, if we do a physical copy of it, all of those things, all of your drawings should be like the insert of the
we can figure that
CD,
out. I would like to get that so people can see that too.
Yeah. And we're going to use those things, and after we listen to the song, we'll talk much more about this to expand, not only on this story, but then eventually we're going to Cimmerillion this fucking thing, and we're going to expand on the world of Captalan itself. It is really a lot of fun. Like this was, like, again, I said your idea, you threw it out there, and I was like, that's fucking perfect. Like, let's, we were just gonna write shitty pop songs all summer long. We did 6 pop songs that were our version of pop songs, and you threw this out there. I'm like, yeah, we're long song.
You know what we should do?
It made sense.
We should do a sub channel on just going over the lore for this.
Oh yeah,
so, we put videos together.
Yep.
And we describe the lore, like side videos, 15 minutes long.
Yeah,
just going through.
Animate them somehow.
Fuck yes.
I mean, even if it's not animated with images.
Hand-drawn animation while getting light boards.
All right,
I'm fine with that. That'd be cool.
You're buying.
With the traces, I'll do the initials, and then you guys can do all the movements.
Say, I'm not doing tracing. I will not be a fucking tracer.
It's not a tracer.
Call me a fucking
All right.
I'm quoting something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Either way, so Justin, final song. What are your thoughts on the whole thing? Everything 1 through 5, and then what you did tonight.
Going back and listening to, there are certain parts and songs that I wish were longer.
Okay.
But I mean, given the lore and whatnot, I understand how it fits. There are certain things that I would like to hear more.
What I mean?
Are you saying musically?
Too.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, musically.
Okay.
Like last week's song in particular, when it went into the double bass part, I wanted that a little bit longer. Or there were certain little sections that I wanted.
Yeah.
But given what this is, it's a concept to a full-on story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So everything, I think, works. I think going back and listening to it, there wasn't one thing that I was like, no, this song doesn't work. They counter.
Everything works. Yeah, just certain parts you're like, oh, I really like that.
Yeah, but it makes me go back and listen to
exactly. And in the future, when we expand on things, those can be like cues. Like if we're filming something, that double bass part is representing a certain part in the story. Sure. It can be then expanded and used to its fullest potential. For me, this was the first week in the 6 that Zach did not send us a synopsis.
That's right. That is also true.
Having good faith that we already knew where the fuck we were going with the story. Yeah. That there was going to be a battle, and then he was either going to win or he wasn't. And then if he won, he was either going home or he wasn't, and just kind of figure it all out. Where we find our story now, right before we jump in, we have Aurthor has just claimed the rings. He has lost Latidion and lost the battle to the Boar King. Sure. And out of anger, he shoots fire from one and then extinguishes the fire from the other ring and realizes, okay, I have the power. And all the dwarves realize, okay, you have the power. You could fulfill the prophecy. Sure. So where we pick up, and musically, something I love about what we did is there's humming and bells, and there's the opening you'll hear, it's the meditation. They are gathering themselves. Sure. They're getting ready for battle.
The Bell Shrine.
The Bell Shrine. That is where they have to go, where the Boar King resides.
Is the start to the path to the top of the mountain.
And last time we saw the Boar King, the Temple of Five came crumbling down, and there was no sound, there was nothing, but there was the feeling that the Boar King was still alive. And since he is a demon, we haven't developed this fully, so we don't know. Maybe he's able just to switch and just slide right back.
There's no way he's the only demon.
Oh, he's not, but he's the demon. He's the king on right this now, on this level, and more could come if he is defeated. So without giving too much away, as always, pay very close attention to the lyrics here, but pay just as close attention to all of the music. There are a lot of lyrics and musical cues that keep coming back throughout it. Yep. All 6 installments, and after this episode, we'll have part 6 up on YouTube, and you'll be able to sit down and listen to all 43 minutes in a row and get the full story. Yep. It's just as good as a movie. You don't need pictures, you dumb motherfucker. You can't even see.
True.
Pictures. You can't read pictures.
Can you?
But you can listen to words.
That's weird.
Yeah. So what is the name of this song?
The Last Battle of Captalan?
The Last Battle of Captalan. So here we go.
Captalan, sorry.
The Last Battle for Captalan. So here we go. This is Rubbish, part 6 of 6 of the Garbage Man epic, The Last Battle for Captalan. We will see you in about 10 minutes. Enjoy. Yep.
did not die in vain. This day will see that demon slain. We sit in silence, gather our strength. With anger I've harnessed, I'll send him to hell's gates. Latinian will not die in vain. This day will see that demon slain. Up there he be, so up we'll climb. Time for his end, if it means my life. Latinian did not die in vain. Captalan will live in freedom again. Latinian did not die in vain. Captalan will live in freedom again. The poor king will fall, he will not abide. Rise and conquer these dwarves and die. Freedom for Captalan and all that hide. At my hands he'll die. Latinian did not die in vain. Captalan will live in freedom again. The poor king will fall, he will not abide. Rise and conquer these dwarves and die. Freedom for Captalan and all that hide. At my hands he'll die. With my rings I send the blow that sounds off down the hills below. My destiny has been fulfilled, and like I came back unhurled to the time and place I've gone, but with the pride of Captalan. But with the pride
All right, guys, there you have it. That is the finale of the Garbage Man epic. The first installment of the Garbage Man epic. We might do many more. We might George R.R. Martin or J.R.R. Tolkien or
maybe during
other
the winter.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. Just kidding, Rowling.
Maybe another demon.
Yeah, another demon's gonna happen, and he's gonna find something else, or something's gonna happen, or maybe
it'll be a backstory behind one of them.
Maybe a dwarf gets warped to him. We could go in that realm, and he's got.
And we do our own Howard the Duck.
Yeah, our Howard the Duck, but mix it with Planet of the Apes, where it's.
Remember the He-Man movie? How bad that was?
Oh yeah, we could do that. We could be as bad as the He-Man movie for sure.
We could probably even get Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely would do it. He could be the Boar King.
He could play Aurthor when he's old.
Oh God, who's gonna play him when he's young? Then we need to find a really in shape, tall, blonde guy. All right, that was groovy. That was Keith saying that was groovy. Thank you, brother. Glad you enjoyed it.
I'm happy with.
Yeah. I think we set out to do something. We did it like Aurthor. We rose and we conquered. Yes. And again, we're gonna.
I do like how in the story you have it. That he was immediately teleported back.
Yeah.
So that was done, and then boom, he's back.
So as we were discussing, what we were going to be doing lyrically, it could just be dreaming. He could have been just a very intensive He had a stroke while picking out garbage. And he wakes up and he's like, "There's not even a trophy in this fucking garbage can. What the fuck just happened?" Or he wakes up in a fucking hospital. You never know.
Well, that's why I added that extra sound.
Yeah.
That was always sound. That synth is the sound of the black gold.
Yeah.
Of the magic of Captalan.
Which means that there is something remnant in there. That means that it wasn't fully fake.
He might not believe it still.
Which is as Zach and I were talking about what we were going to be doing lyrically there, and I just kind of wrote it and it just kind of worked out. And then while looking at the lyrics I wrote, kind of fleshed out the idea a little bit more. He asked how does he get back? What's all that? And it was once his destiny is fulfilled, he's just hurled right back into everything.
Turned around and he's gone.
Basically, in my head, the way I see it, he's battling the Boar King. He's got his rings, one of fire and one. I mean, we haven't really established it, but it can extinguish the fire. So maybe it's ice, but
it's wind.
It's wind. Wind. Okay.
So the one is more of his shield.
Yeah.
The wind is more of his.
Oh, he can
shield
block
ring
and knock the guy back, and then his attack. All right, so we got that there, and. So he's battling the Boar King. He defeats the Boar King. The Boar King dies, and he gives a Goku stance, all of the power surging through him, and all of the dwarves look up, and maybe they've been fighting lesser demons that are protecting the Boar King, and they all look up, and it's done. And as the Boar King pretty much takes his final breath, Aurthor is just ripped right back to reality.
And now I just picture him in a Goku pose in the real world screaming.
Yeah, just screaming, and everyone's like, "What the fuck's your problem, Aurthor?" And he's like, "It's Aurthor." And then it ends like that.
He says it's very Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court.
Yes, and that's the wonderful thing about fantasy is you find a story that you want to tell, and as we've gone over in the past, it all stories kind of follow the same cycle, the story circle that Joseph Campbell and then Dan Harmon kind of improved upon, but Joseph Campbell created originally. And he didn't even create it; he just discovered and labeled it. A lot of things differ, but it's a journey. He goes into his chaos realm, which was Captalan, and then he returns, and the only thing we're not going into is he's back to the mundane. But we're just leaving him there, which I like.
Now,
does he turn
into a Ash type of character?
Could he
from
be a
Evil
vigilante?
Where he's just I'm the fucking best.
Yeah, he just shows up and he's like,
I still work
defeated
at this
the fucking Boar King, and they're
I still work at
what
this.
The fuck
this
I don't see that
Kmart
being
thing,
his.
I think it humbles him, but it gives him the last line.
It gives him a better life.
With the last line in the song, he back to where back to the time and place I'd gone, but with the pride of Captalan. So the idea is now, even if it was a dream, even if it was a dream and he thinks it was a dream, he has found that he can accomplish something. He can set a goal and overcome it.
Now,
He
would that
can
mean
be
that he's
thrust
back
into greatness.
looking at said trophy, but the trophy is not there, like back?
Maybe
place
the
in
trophy's
time?
there. Maybe he picks up the trophy and takes it home and puts it there, hoping that he can touch it every day and get zapped back. Fucking,
maybe.
Lion the Witch in the wardrobe status. Like just hoping maybe one day and they're like, oh, I forgot about this trophy, and he touches it, and that's when it's Dolph Lundgren. We could Lion the Witch in the wardrobe. We could definitely C.S. Lewis this whole story. And he just shows up, and it's years later, and everything, the whole world is drastically changed, and maybe the dwarves are the bad ones now.
Sure.
Like, we can keep going and going and going with this, which I mean, we're going to. We're gonna definitely revisit.
That is true.
In the future.
I mean, the dwarves did backstab him.
So yeah, maybe
Now,
the cast
people keep
dwarves.
We do never tie the cast dwarves.
They're
So
loose
they
end.
could, and there's nobody above them at this point.
What I will
so.
say, what does happen in... Now, we haven't talked about the full geography.
Yes.
Right.
But there's a fog wall around the edge.
To the west.
To the west. You cannot go all the way west. Captalan, you will hit the fog wall, which has been there since the Borking's been there, and no one has been through it or past it.
So
Okay.
could that
So is
dissipate?
it-
That I will say 100%. On the death of the Borking, the fog wall dissipates.
Now, what's
And
there?
that-
Is it death and decay?
Or was there
No,
just such a
it's-
thick
it's
wall?
the rest of the world.
And there's
okay, so
another-
he just
They
cut
have,
off the rest of the
Captalan
world.
has been cut off. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? You figure they went from Poke to Dewash in 7 days.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is not that large.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure,
it's pretty
sure.
big.
But the rest of the world wasn't cut off from.
If you're
everybody
thinking about it,
else,
it's a
just
couple
Captalan.
100 miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
there-
just Captalan was cut off. So the fog wall.
just Fogwall has cut Captalan. Who knows what else has been cut off
Yep.
in the world?
Gotcha.
And
With
that
other
goes down.
potential,
Yeah.
demon
Other
kings.
regions
Gotcha.
in their whatever their continent
Their world.
is in their world
Okay.
could be
So
dealing
what I
with their
will
own
say,
thing.
if we return to Captalan directly in the timeline after the death of the Boar King, things are about to change dramatically because now the dwarves are not stuck in
One spot.
Captalan.
Yes.
They can leave Captalan
Right.
and they find out what
Now,
what
do
has
you-
happened in the rest of the world.
As we just said, the cast dwarves. In the previous episode, that song they were outed by the Boar King as the ones that gave up the crew that was
yes.
the position and what they were trying to do, and that is how the Boar King found them. We did not wrap up that storyline in my head, not knowing what Zach had in mind. I just figured that just leave that there, like that's there, and that's something that the dwarves have to deal with after the defeat of the Boar King.
what
Now
they do
there's
next.
inner fighting. There's always going to be an enemy in anything you do. You defeat Hitler, and the Russians become your enemy. Like very quickly, they were your partners, and now they're your enemies.
Sure.
So it's very easy to transition into something along those lines. For Zach, do you see more of an interaction between the cast dwarves and the other, like the hill dwarves, and everybody else? Do you see like them having altercations that could be like the beginnings of the next story, that then the rest of the world is opened up and then they have to team together? Or do you see more of like a full-blown story between those two tribes? Or have you not thought about that?
I have thought of a couple ideas for the fate of the cast dwarves, but I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
So
I'm George R.R. Martin in it right now. I'm playing a lot of ideas.
the
in my
dragons
head.
will be here in 6 books, motherfuckers.
six albums.
6 albums, you're gonna get dragons. We're telling you now. But that's gonna be in 19 years. 19 years. If you're getting on the ground, imagine being somebody
ground level of-
that got on the ground level of Game of Thrones in 1996
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
95, and you're like, God damn, this book's amazing. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's got all this
Can't
shit
wait
in
to
it.
see what's next.
Oh, can't wait to see what's next. And then like 4 years later, you get the next book, and you're like, oh, I forgot about that book series. This is amazing. And then 11 years later, you get a show, and you're like, they haven't even come out with the books yet. Like, how are they doing this? And then the show ends, and you're like, motherfucker hasn't read the last 2 books. He hasn't read the last 2 books. So that's our goal. Have an HBO series run for 6, 7 years, 8 years, whatever it is, before we get there with our albums. And then let that disappoint everybody so our albums are better.
You know what I would really want to make in this world? And it's just shit that I love. I love
Moonshine.
Yeah, I'd love to make Moucha too, but no, like old school RPG.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that'd be cool.
I'm such a fan of old school RPGs. I just started playing Grandia, and I'm like so sucked into
We
it.
just gotta get on the RPG maker and we can.
No, not RPG. We need a little more serious than that.
Maybe a little bit more.
I mean,
can we make him look real blocky and everything?
Yeah,
Is that what we're going for?
I mean, you can do it in Unity, no
Like
problem.
old school Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, those games.
Yeah.
Those story-driven RPGs.
And you can use this story as like a jumping off point, and then wherever we go, and then the games can kind of go on their own. And this is what I did kind of want to talk about here, is we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, I now having the whole story mapped out, I'm going to try to go back and start working on a novelization version of it.
Oh yeah.
More of a novella-ization of it.
Right.
Give it, it's 6 parts. There's a lot of stories. I want to flesh it out. I'm planning on it being like 100 to 150 pages long.
Is it written as a musical type of thing?
Written just as a straight story. Just a straight
okay.
story. Because then we can take the straight story and working with the 3 of us together and
Make
fleshing out the
gay story.
ideas. Real gay stories. But working on all of the ideas and developing like the subplots and me writing stuff, bringing it to you guys, seeing what you think about it, you adding your, everything that you want to throw in there. And then from there we have, okay, here's the album, and here's the full fleshed out story, and then find somebody.
Thought of a brilliant idea. One of the popular games that's in that is like the offering style thing.
Yeah.
So you can talk about that and then flesh that out.
Definitely. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But like write the novelization version of it and then give it to somebody that can do graphic novels and be like, listen, like, you're a graphic artist, here's the story, read it and adapt it. Like take what we've done and stick to the story.
Right.
And obviously we'll have like final say in like what it is, and we'll give you pointers, but really we just want you to do a full graphic novel based on this story. So then we have that, and then I would like at some point to do a stage production, because that'll be way easier than making a full movie with how the costumes and the locations on this and the visual effects of this would be a huge undertaking. Like an independent film would still be like a $5 million independent film, and that would be
Easily.
like, bad Dragonheart level fucking graphics. Like
It'd be 96.
It would be 96. It would be very, very 1996. But we could, go down that vein. You're saying video game style, like an RPG game. Do you have any, before we jump into the offering, or maybe this is the good transition, what other things, like, would you think like a tabletop version game of like the Battle of Captain, like a Risk style game?
You totally could do something like that. It would depend. It depends on how far into the story that you get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would think that if you're going to do a tabletop, it would be more like D&D. You come up with a rule set within that world.
And you're just playing it within the actual world of Captain.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You have a map from, like a full-size world that you could play with.
And these are the creatures that exist and the sentient beings and all of that all of that. Now, okay, well, you brought up the offering. I don't know if you've actually ever talked about the offering on the show. I think we might have brought it up here and there.
I mean, I don't want to really go in too much depth with it, but it's a card game that...
So, yeah, I came up with this idea 5 years ago, around there, for a tabletop card-based game called The Offering that would take place more or less in the Dark Ages, when the church or a church or whatever in this community controls everything, and everybody is vying for the approval of the church, and everybody's willing to sell out their fellow man to get in good standings with God or a God.
But you're always facing the church.
You are always going up against the church, and the church is just taking everybody's money. So that is where what the offering is going to be pretty much about. And I know we've talked about it for years. I've made notes and notes and notes and designed,
well, I think
the card layouts and everything. But we are going to try to work on it this winter.
And what I would really like to do to flesh it out is do a computerized version of it.
Yes.
But what I like thinking through it more, not that I know a lot about apps for phones and whatnot, but I think what I'm going to do is if I get it translated and everything that we need here, the easiest way for us to test it would be to have a demo version that we could send out to like Keith.
Yeah.
And that we figure out that how we can all play together and test it and work with it and do.
Well, I mean, that's just like set a time, like, hey, we're all going to get on at 9 o'clock and we're all going to play at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but I mean, just getting it out there and connectable. Yeah. You know what I mean? How it all works. But it's something that I want to sit down over the winter time and start getting into that. I mean, before it even becomes an app or a program, like we have a lot of shit to figure out, a lot of assets to work on, art, just designing and templates and just getting the names and how things function.
I'll say it right here and now. If you are listening and you are a visual, if you're a graphic artist, if you are somebody that understands coding, gaming, anything about creating actual games, like game development, and you are interested in working on something,
worth of books.
Hell yeah!
From Humble Bundle on Unity game development. So
all right.
Me and Mikey have been talking about it. So that's
Keith says he likes games.
He does like games.
He does like games.
So I mean, it's something that
Munchkin loves Munchkin.
But yeah, anybody that has any experience in that shit and wants to work on stuff.
Oh, Keith says he misses Ascension.
I do not miss
Zach
Ascension.
does it. I was just gonna say Zach hated Ascension.
But that is my whole point. Though. If we can have a 4 or 5 player game where we all hop on one night.
Yeah.
And test it out.
Yeah.
Right there from your phone, and then you can adapt it to an actual PC release or
exactly.
PS4 release.
And then kind of do it backwards and then eventually release a tabletop version of it.
Well, yeah, the tabletop, once we know that the actual app works, we can literally just be like, okay, this is how it is.
Out. Yep.
Write it all up.
Yep, write it all out.
Get the cards made, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
And I mean, that is something that, we could potentially even think about, and this is just spitballing on live air right here, but we could potentially think about maybe adapting it into Captalan. We could take
that's
the
what
story.
I was saying. That is something that they play, or that is something a pastime.
That stupid card game they play in Witcher?
Yeah.
Or the card game they play in Final Fantasy VIII?
Something like that.
We create this game,
the world.
and then you take the idea of it being a church, and you just name it something different, or you make it the Temple of Five, and you're always like dealing with the Temple of Five, and it's all a precursor to Arthor.
Yeah.
And so we basically write our Hobbit.
Pretty much,
but in a game form, and your dwarves, and you can sell them out, and the cast dwarves, you can maybe establish then that they are a little bit shady,
and they could be. It could be just like any other game that we play, where it would be in the sense of fantasy, where because it's within their world, the creatures that pop up or whatever they have to deal with is also within that world.
Yeah,
it's just that the thought of overcoming something. Or waiting for that one person to come and save them. You know what I mean? Like that thing of hope. Like let's play whatever the offering.
Yeah, we could maybe put in a card.
I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna kill the fucking Boar King.
You can put in a card that is summon Arthur, and
yeah, you could.
That's how you win the game. You finally summon Arthur, and you're like
Or that's
and
the
game
goal
ends.
Of the thing to get to.
To get to Arthur.
To get the summon of Arthur.
And then once you get the summon, and you don't always get it every game.
True.
But once you get to it, then once you do it, the album starts. Just automatically. You're like, whoa! Whoa!
It shoots out
this
a CD.
This is crazy.
Right
and then you're like 43 minutes later, I thought we were playing a game. What the fuck?
Third playing a game. I just ordered this book to read.
And then after you're done with
insanity.
After you're done with the album, it automatically orders the book for you.
It orders the book,
and then starts playing
the last
movie.
line of the album is Alexa, order Rubbish, the Garbage Man epic. Ordering Rubbish, the Garbage Man epic. Ah, damn it! Well, I guess I'm getting it. It's only $39.95 hard copy. Yeah, it's only gonna be released in a hardcover. There's not gonna be a soft cover edition. We're gonna go classic.
Never soft.
We're never soft. We're always hard. Always erect around each other. I don't know. So okay. So I mean, hey, that again. This whole episode has pretty much been to bring you the final installment of Rubbish. We are going to be putting it up this week on YouTube. We already have a playlist, so you can go through and listen to 1 through 5 now. And if you're listening in the future, you can go listen to 1 through 6 right now. Again, if you are somebody that is a graphic artist,
or somebody that just wants to help us test it. Once we start getting it done, whether it's in card form,
get in on the ground level of this, and we guarantee you a very cheap copy of the hardcover book. We'll sell to you for only $29.95. And unless you're in Canada, then it's $34.95 for no reason. I don't get why Canada pays
exchange rate.
Is that the exchange rate? Is it the only difference on? Because it just says in dollars. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I never got that. But either way, you're paying more, Canada.
Maybe it's just to fuck over the Americans that moved
there. Yeah, and we were talking about it during the song. I was saying we got to give it to like Will when he goes, "Happy birthday to Will." We got to bring it to give copies of the CD to Will. So when he goes on Magic tournaments, everybody he eliminates from tournament, he can hand over a copy like it's his calling card.
Fuck out of my face. Here's
and he just
CD.
hands it. Yeah, you're dead. CD. Take your die.
CDs nuts!
Take your deck and take these CDs. Here you go. All right. Yeah. Well, hey, as always, thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. We are off for the next 2 Tuesdays, which means we return 3 weeks from tonight at 9 o'clock. And at that point, it's gonna be fall. And what do we do during fall, Zach? We make metal.
I thought that was winter.
Winter's death metal, but we start getting into, we start warming up to it. And we're going to be...
Not like the last song you heard wasn't fucking metal.
Yeah, don't forget that we're going to have your guide to listening to
Exactly.
We're gonna
next
have
episode
back. The guide... What do we call it?
We're calling it your guide to fall music, I guess. Or,
just your guide?
The guide to fall music.
The ultimate guide.
Yeah. The brunch guide to fall music. Yeah. And we're going to be talking, each of us bringing a band that is kind of a classic, older band that we've been listening to for forever, and somebody that we just discovered, whether it's a new artist or an old artist, that feels like fall. So if you would like to throw in your 2 cents, be here 3 weeks from tonight at 9 o'clock and jump on that. And when we return,
we'll add it to the list.
Yeah, we very well may add it to the list. And when we return, we will be back to having guests in studio, hopefully almost every week. Yeah. I do have one confirmed week of guests. They are 2 gals that I'm forgetting both of their names right now. Trash Can Barbie is her name on Instagram, and she hosts a podcast with her friends or her one friend that's all about true crime and weird spooky shit. So they're going to be our Halloween episode, October 29th. And then the week before that, I know we're going to have Mikey Martino on, and we're going to do Halloween candy. So we're going to do Halloween. So it's going to be 2 weeks of Halloween to close out that 6-week branch.
Does that mean we're going back to Grandpa Joe's, man?
Oh, we are going back to Grandpa Joe's, brother.
We're always going back to Grandpa Joe's. Oh, my God.
I miss Grandpa Joe's. It's been a long month of no candy, and I'm getting ready to put that weight bag on. It's going to be
It's been a long 6 weeks
of
really just doing
this.
The rubbish thing. It's gonna be so weird to go back to like a normal,
just writing one-offs and being weird. But yeah, so what I was saying, the guest that we have for the 29th, it's the girlfriend of former guest Cliff Albert. It's Marissa, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So they're going to be on. They're going to be talking about their podcast, promoting that, kind of a little cross promotion. Cool. And then it's Halloween, so we're just talking about spooky shit at that point. We're going to be trying to get hardcore Walt Phillips on, old school hardcore fucking Walt.
You don't even know hardcore.
Yo, bro, back in the 90s, it was fucking real hardcore.
Also, I'm going to figure out for this break to get Discord working. So we'll have a Discord server, but I'm also going to set it up so that we can have call-in guests.
All right. So, hell yeah. And as always, we're always going onwards and upwards, trying to bring more entertainment to you guys. And we're about halfway through. We are exactly halfway through season 3. So thank you everybody that keeps tuning in. Thank you everybody that keeps checking us out on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher.
I'm sort of looking forward to Christmas.
Me as well.
How many are we thinking?
We got 5 weeks leading up to Christmas that we're on. So we're really only doing 23 episodes this season, not full 24. But
it's going to be hard to get Mark on 5 weeks in a row.
It's going to be. We're going to get him.
That motherfucker. Are we shooting for 5 songs? Or
5 Christmas songs?
Yeah,
or are we redoing?
We might redo Bitchin'
redo
Christmas.
Bitchin'
I think
Christmas.
we redo Bitchin' Christmas, and we write 4 other Christmas songs.
Yeah.
All right,
I think
I'm
that's a
down
good
with
way.
that. And then we can release 6 songs for Christmas.
Yeah, for Christmas, right around Christmas time, you'll get that, and that'll be entertaining for all of you. It'll be actually out like a week before Christmas because Christmas falls on a Tuesday. So the last Christmas song will air
if you get
immediately a week before.
You could download it and rip it to CD and give it as a nice Christmas gift.
It is a really good cheap gift for you, and we fully approve of you ripping all of our music. We ain't got ass cat.
Maybe for season 4.
Yeah.
Well, that won't fall.
It'll be season 5. It'll be season 5 around there.
Well, all right. So
and who
maybe
knows how it works?
of
We might be
season
out
4.
that whole month. That might be the month that we're off. Who knows?
Maybe. But
Yeah.
either way, maybe we'll get the white elephant thing going.
Oh,
remember that shit?
yeah.
Right
Oh,
now?
we do that with my family every year. I know
yeah,
that
we
very
know.
well.
No.
I call it White Rhino, though.
White
no,
Rhino?
where people ask us to buy shit for them.
For them, and then we send it to them.
Well, it would be local.
So bring people on and do a Christmas.
I don't know. I don't remember how we hashed it out, but
Me
it was
neither.
basically like.
I'm sending people boxes of my own feces.
All right.
All right. I mean,
Clear boxes.
no, it was more or less
Send
like.
us your address.
Can you fill it up with the TY Beanie Baby cases? Just fill.
I don't have them.
You don't have
It would be more or less
damn.
like somebody hits us up saying they need it for work. It's $10. Just go get something. They have no idea what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Type of
Oh,
shit.
we could do people's Secret Santa.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
That's what
someone
I'm
could be
saying.
like, "Oh, I have a Secret Santa," and we were like, "You send us some money, we'll take care of it."
We'll do it for you. All right. I like that. I like that idea. I forgot all about that. But yes.
You know what I mean? Maybe.
But as always, I want to give a big shout out to everybody at Moot.tv, our whole Moot.tv family. Eric, our wonderful super producer, for putting everything out. And you know, when we actually get him an episode early on Sunday, it gets out on Mondays.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it really doesn't. And that's on us, not him. So a big thank
Not
you
me.
No, it's on
Me.
me.
It's on Justin.
It's on
It's on
Justin
me.
and me for forgetting to remind each other
Yeah.
or just forgetting to do it. Like last week, you got it to me at like 10 o'clock, and I didn't send it out till like 3 in the morning when I was home and like after work and everything.
It happens.
It does happen. But yeah, check us out on
Especially
iTunes, Stitcher. Check out also from Moot.tv, White Wasabi, and most importantly, let me ask you a question where you can see Eric, Anthony, and Gregaman going on about some weird fucking questions every week. Anthony's a psychopath and has just a crazy mind and thinks of really weird situations to put people into. So if you're into weird situations and kind of, would you rather questions, go check them out. White Wasabi periodically drops episodes as well. And a big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpedo for putting everything together.
Hey, man, you're welcome.
And I gotta say, I love the transitions this week. We did an experiment last week with like kind of like a canned transition that you just found. This one you kind of more. It's very simple, but it's a personalized thing. And if you're listening at home, that's what that swoosh is on iTunes. It's a nice whoosh. So just listen to us on fucking YouTube live every goddamn
come join
fucking
us.
Tuesday.
Goddamn.
9 fucking o'clock, you motherfuckers.
What else you guys doing? Like
God
really?
fucking damn,
Fucking
you working?
hook
You having
hook
sex?
something up to your fucking TV.
If
Put
you're
on
having
YouTube.
sex, just watch a show while you're having sex.
It makes you last longer.
Yeah.
Look at these 3 faces. Try to come looking at that.
Yeah, try to
Come looking at that.
Try
Zach
to
has-
come. That's
New
my new
challenge.
podcast. Is
Zach
New
has said that
challenge.
to every woman he's ever been with. Try to come looking at this. I dare you.
to come.
I give you 2 minutes to come,
Challenge.
and then I do. On you, lady. Up front with this shit. But yeah, thank you.
2 minutes generous.
I know. I didn't want to say 28 seconds. All right, so Justin, thank you as always. And in addition, the creator, the mastermind behind the Rubbish Garbage Man epic, Mr. Zachary
We wrote a 43-minute album.
Stormin. That's a sweet one. I like that. I like that middle name for you. That nickname for you.
It's my favorite number.
43.
Yeah.
Well, if it was 1 minute shorter, isn't that the answer to all problems in the universe?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Don't we
What
need
is
to
the meaning of life?
we need to trim a minute off this
No,
motherfucking.
no, 43
Oh my
is
God.
the cause of all problems.
All right,
in
the
the
That's
world.
cause-
the metal
Small
album.
problems.
42 album. 42 minutes.
42 minutes. All right. Almost the answer to all of man's problems.
Well, it's like having an extra chromosome.
Yes, that's always good. No one's ever been upset about having extra chromosomes.
Not at all.
Oh my God, underbites. All right, so we will be back in 3 weeks from tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening all the way through. Check out the Rubbish Garbage Man Epic.
Yeah.
Going to be on YouTube. We'll be posting it all over social media. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you when it's a little bit colder, a little bit crisper, and a little bit more colorful out. Have a good 3 weeks, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Fuck
Have fun on your
off.
trip, dude.
Go die.
Have fun
and not die and come right back.
Please don't.
Don't die, but I will have fun on my trip.
Also, go Birds.
Oh yeah, it's football.
I'm gonna
season.
destroy all of you. in
Football
fantasy land.
Oh
season.
man.
If they put that
need
goddamn
to,
backup
all right,
quarterback
I have
up
to
for the
figure out a
Giants,
way
they
that we're
might be
keeping
good.
track of this, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right.
Keep track of what they do.
fantasy.
It's all on the app, bud.
It's all me out.
I know to
See
translate
you
it
guys.
into this.
We could try.
Root.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experimental pieces of shit. Oh, we're not over yet. Now we are.